So for my contract law discussion, first question I did was, how does the concept of amateurism affect the legality of contracts for college athletes? Some key aspects that amateurism affects the legality. And the NCAA regulations, they have strict rules in place that prevent college athletes from receiving compensation beyond their scholarships. Um, so like the school can't give them an excess, X amount of money, more than, the scholarship, for the athletic scholarship, but they can be paid, in NIL and stuff now. But that's, two different entities, paying the athlete. Scholarships, college athletes can receive scholarships that cover the cost of tuition, fees, room, and board. These are like the compensation for their athletic abilities. But so providing additional compensation or benefits such as cash or payments is not allowed. Legal challenges. There have been legal challenges to the NCAA's amateurism rules. But this has changed, with NIL, and that is like, another big point. NIL is a big development. Now that college athletes are getting paid, and many states are, shaping the landscape to allow college athletes to get paid. The second question I did was discuss the key elements that make a sports contract legally binding. The first one is offer and acceptance. A contract begins with an offer from one party and acceptance by the other party. In sports, this may involve, an athlete accepting a contract offer from a team, or maybe an endorsement deal. Consideration refers to something of value exchange between the parties. This could be, the athlete's services, or payment offered by the team or a sponsor. Strategies for clarity and fairness. Just being, open and communicating, defining the terms and obligations clearly, negotiating fair compensation, and, just having regular updates, and, really just having that relationship, building that bond. And then the last question I did was analyze legal considerations and potential consequences involved when terminating or renegotiating long-term contracts for athletes and coaches. Contract terms and termination clauses are really crucial. Long-term contracts typically include specific clauses that address the termination conditions. Common termination clauses, you can, have a buyout provision, performance benchmarks, where you can get paid, for your performance, doing better, or you could lose money doing worse, or mutual agreement clauses. Parties must, they must follow these clauses, especially when, terminating or renegotiating contract. There's a breach of contract if one party fails to, fulfill their obligations. This could, lead to a breach, in which, the party who was breached doesn't really have to go to their end of the bargain anymore. And then, just negotiating and just, again, having that talk, being close enough to, and comfortable enough to have the relationship to, talk about, the good and the bad. And then potential consequences, financial penalties, legal disputes, reputation damage, replacement costs, so, and even loss of sponsorships with that. So, just really trying to navigate and make sure that you pick the best people for you. It's going to be big, and, your sponsorships, and even like going to, the right team. So.